Haven and Owen. Owen is Haven's son. I've seen a photo of them. Oh, thank you. To become a YouTuber. The member.
What's he say?
What just happened? I don't know.
Is that too loud over there?
No, I just opened something deleted. Did I accidentally delete that? What just happened? I don't know. I may have accidentally. I don't know what just happened. I apologize if I did something wrong. I don't know what I'm doing here. Sometimes you push the buttons and all this stuff comes up when I hit the thing sometimes. Okay, yeah, Haven, she has a son named Owen. She sent us a photo. It was great. It's great to put a face with you guys. Like, I like when you guys start putting your little photos. They're very small, but Richard sees them better because he's on the computer. I'm like, but we appreciate it. And if we do have our numbers, send us photos stuff. We appreciate that. I got photos of some bunnies already sent to me and stuff, people's bunnies and animals, so I love that. And then we got to meet Amanda yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw that. How fun was that? And me and Amanda are probably going to get together probably tomorrow. So you guys, this is great. We're getting to know people like through the YouTube community that you never would meet these people, I'm sure, in regular life. Because it's just like, like you only encounter the people that are doing like the same things as you. So, if you're at the grocery store at the same time, we've got the same exact job. So it's like YouTube brings like people together that could never meet any other way. And that's really cool. And it also, thank you so much. Okay, there you go. It's Captain Enclave. I am now a member. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Captain Enclave. Thank you. Welcome as a member. So thank you for the dollar. And then you guys hear that chewing? That's Casper chewing on his. He loves his cage because it's got the wood. And I didn't realize. I don't know if they realized when they created it. They probably do. They know about bunnies, but that he just chews the heck out of the wood part. But that's not the whole structure of it. Isn't just wood, so he's not gonna like break it. But it has the wiring and then the wood around, so he just goes nuts on the wood. But if you hear that in the background, that's my buddy Casper. But anyways, we are just overwhelmed with I don't know, like excitement that there's so many people that like are starting to really care about our family, and we really, really enjoyed meeting Amanda yesterday. It was crazy because Amanda is the first. I'm him. Love you guys. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Captain Enclave, who's the member now. We appreciate all the love. Thank you. You guys are killing it. We're through the moon. So, anyways, this gonna say is we realized that Amanda's like the first person to come over besides policemen and social workers.
Olivia loves the T-shirt. Pamela says hi from Scotland, and wherever the member is just enjoying.
Walmart special. So I have several like little kitty shirts that I've gotten. Guess where I get them? Go to the clearance rack at Walmart, and it depends. You can't be super picky because it's only what everything is available in your size. It might be one shirt or two, but you go in, they'll be like $3, $5, for these things. That's how I get everybody's stuff. If you want to, so Richard, same thing, and get this. But sometimes the sizes aren't exactly right. But this is a medium. He's in a medium now. We got him this.
Yeah, it's an old MTV shirt or something.
Well, it's not old. They just put the things that maybe it has a little tear in it. I don't know what makes them clearance that maybe they're going.
They're throwaways.
Well, it's not throwaways. It's maybe they're bringing in new stuff. Or sometimes it'll have like a little hole or tear or something. We got the clearance section. That's where we go. Walmart, Target, because that's all we can afford these days. So, also people have been sending us some really nice things.
Oh no, it's been really fun.
Really helpful. So, really helpful. That's helping clothe us. But before that, we were just Walmart and Target.
Oh, you know what I need to do? You know what we need to do today? I need to get some. Do you think probably the best thing to do is to go to AutoZone or Pep Boys rather than our mechanic? Because our mechanic is busy. But on AutoZone, would that be better for the battery? Would that be a better deal like Pep Boy, or should I go to My Guy?
The thing is, I don't know. We don't know how to change it.
No. They will. Some people say here that they'll change it.
AutoZone.
That's what they said. So I don't know for a fact, but if that's the case, I'm gonna call. Ginger says yes. She's in Kansas City, so that's the same as here.
You
pretty
can see,
much.
I went grocery
AutoZone.
shopping this morning, and we had to jump it before I left.
But
then that thing is amazing. Oh my gosh! Seriously, we're not like we're not trying to like no. Hell no, I'm not returning. That is the best device to have. No.
Should we keep that in our car?
I am keeping that thing. No, listen, I am like blown away by that little device. Like it's crazy. So we jumped to the car. You just literally just attach it and turn on the car. It's ready to go. I keep thinking, does it have to sit there a minute and kind of like, no. And then it just starts
Ginger
right up.
says yes, keep one in the car.
Yeah, and get this. So this morning I had to go do a couple errands. So I had to get gas, and I had to go to the grocery store. So I was like, I'm gonna have to stop the car. So we had to jump it in the morning, but then I got gas and I went grocery shopping, and it started both times. But now we'll probably have to use it again because obviously our battery needs a new battery. But what I'm trying to say is I think it was pretty good. Like he was able to start it this morning, then I was able to do 2 stops even and still get home. So we got to figure out the battery situation today or tomorrow because we don't have anywhere else we have to go, I don't think, today. So we could probably wait till tomorrow if we have to deal with it, but we'll probably try to deal with it today. But I got my errands done, so that's what I was happy about. And it is so darn hot in Vegas right now. So that's why we don't go out much the last couple days. Anyways, that's why we're like, it's okay, the car is not working right now because it is so darn hot this time of year in Vegas. You kind of hibernate inside. That's why we don't like when Annette walks too much this time of year because it is hot out there. But thank you, everybody. We are just, seriously, it's kind of amazing to us because we never really had any friends, not since we've been together. I had friends when I was younger, but most of my friends were just like bar friends because I drank a lot, and so I just met people at a bar and, you kind of go out drinking together, but I wouldn't say it would necessarily be people that could be helpful if you needed something, like we could call on, more just like drinking buddies. But this is kind of our first time like really interacting with people, and we're of course there's a ton of people that don't like us, but I feel like each day there's more and more people that like us, and that feels really good to us. And Annette is so happy. So but yeah, so that movie, it's kind of crazy because it seems so harsh, like what we might be saying to the ladies, but ever since that day, like they have been so much better. It's crazy. Like I think they kind of had to have like this rude awakening in a sense because by seeing themselves on the camera, and what really got is like Gloria saw Annette's denial, and then it made her realize a little bit of her denial. She still has the denial, but a little bit more acceptance of the fact that maybe you could forget or not be aware of something, but it could still exist, kind of thing. So she's starting to realize, okay, maybe I could be wrong, kind of thing. Even if I don't remember, or even if I think it went a different way, maybe I'm wrong. Because when she saw the video of some of the events, she was like, oh, okay, I kind of see what you guys are talking about now. So that was good. But yeah, that was a very emotional day. I was very upset because Annette, I had never seen her lie, and she lied to us that entire day like crazy. Not like it was just weird. Like she was getting so upset about that, like that we could ever even like accuse her of being on drugs and stuff, and we didn't know that was an issue. Like we kind of thought that she was aware that she had been on drugs. We honestly, the whole day was kind of like awakening for all of us. But I do feel really bad about calling Annette a name, but it all worked out because it made me and Annette closer. Because I communicated to her that I was upset because you're lying to me, and I don't want you to lie to me because, me and Annette are gonna be together forever because eventually Gloria will pass, and Richard will probably pass before me because he's older than me. So I'll be the one taking care of Annette. I'm the youngest. So, because I don't think anyone else will be, unless she's like super famous by then and has a partner, that would be great. Maybe that will happen. But if that doesn't happen, then it's going to be me and Annette. And I already told her that. And she's like, yeah, she said, we're going to grow old together and stuff. And this is all after that whole event. So like that event happened, and then me and Annette have had like some amazing talks and stuff. And so it was kind of like this really beautiful thing, even though it's harsh, and I don't like watching it either. Like it was hard for the whole family, like when we have these discussions, because we're dealing with two people that are so much in denial and so unaware that we're having to be very abrasive about it, because we've tried like to not be. Usually they just walk away. So we were like, you have to sit down and watch this video today. We're going to talk about these things. And so that's why it got very heated. Like Annette got very upset when Richard was talking to her about the drugs and stuff. And she's got on this kick that she's never done meth. And so we've stopped addressing it. We let it go. But I'm glad that we went over it. But yeah, I do feel bad for calling her names, and I won't do that again. And it was a weird moment that we were going through of just like a lot of emotions there, where it was sad too, because we don't want to make them feel bad for the past, but it's crazy how like people can't move forward if they don't accept their past. Like anybody, even if you have a mental disorder. So like Annette is not stupid, and a lot of her stuff can be fixed. Like a lot of like as you see before we came here, she was much more severe. So as she gets better, like I wonder how much she's even going to have an issue, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not saying she might not have a condition at all, but I'm just saying like I wonder how much was conditioned and how much was just like nurturing, like she didn't get proper care. So as she gets her nurturing, like she gets better and better. And so like really we're really excited to see how much she can improve. And each day she's just doing better and better. And what was happening before we had that event is she was getting a really bad attitude about everything.
Dawson loves your outfit.
Oh, thank you.
Right down to the
okay, I get it. I am like completely...
Hold on, before you do that. Hey, Amanda.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is like this is like the only thing we have to look forward to in the morning is seltzer water. What a great day to wake up.
We're still drinking the ones from you because this morning I didn't stop for water. We actually need to get water.
It was so thoughtful of you. It made such a difference in our life. I mean, it just made my day go better. I mean, everyone. So
we're going to get some later today, but
so
I didn't stop for water. I got beef this morning because I didn't want to deal with the car. I did bring the thing with me, but I said, so we're going to stop for water later. So these are still the ones from Amanda. Thank you. We're still going through. We still have some left, so thank you.
So thank you, Amanda.
Oh, so great. It was weird without him. Okay, that you guys are saying about the diet. I guess a key factor is having like a water that you really like, because water, often people think they're hungry when they're really just thirsty. And everything except for water dehydrates you. So every other beverage that you try to consume.
I'm going to throw something else out here. Now, I don't know exactly how this works, but I have a feeling that there's a couple things. You've heard how sleep and water are things that you need to consume a lot when you're trying to lose weight. What they're talking about, they're not talking about ketosis, but they are talking about ketosis. They're talking about when you sleep and when you're on this diet, the water is essential for you for it to do its thing called catabolization, which is to break down. It needs the H2O in order for you to get to catabolize. So that's why they say drink water to lose weight. So people are dieting, they drink lots of water. Besides the fact that it fills you up, but really it doesn't fill you up. It starts this burning fat process.
Right, I'm going to be honest, yesterday, okay, so we had some purified water, which I prefer spring water. So if I can't have seltzer water, I prefer spring water. And I prefer, the best thing to have is mineral water.
Yeah.
But it's a fortune. We can't afford it right now. So we would feel better with mineral water, but it literally, they charge like $3 a bottle for most mineral waters. It's insane. Like,
it's a luxury.
It's a luxury. I mean, mineral water is so much. And so, we were doing spring water, but then we really like a little bit of bubbles, so we went with seltzer water. But seltzer water is not actually as good as spring water. Like the actual water, like the nutrients in it, you get more nutrients from spring water. But we just like the bubbles, so we're like, yeah, okay, we'll go with. We settled on seltzer water, but purified water, I just do not like. It's like, I mean, I'll drink it, but it's like there's just no enjoyment for me when it's like. So spring water I can drink, but so yesterday all we had was purified water, and I was realizing it was actually very difficult. People were saying like, how do you, how do you not want to eat other things or something? And I was like, it was weird. Without the water, I was starting to almost crave other things for the first time in like,
That's a snack.
Like months and months and months, because the water, I think, really, like Richard is saying, is key to the diet, is drinking a lot of water. And I barely drank water yesterday, and so I remember all day being kind of hungry, and I'm like, that's weird because I don't ever feel that. But I didn't have the water until Amanda came over, and then we were waiting for them to chill because they were hot. So I didn't have the water till the evening, and I was like, wow, for the first time really since we've been doing this, I was kind of like almost feeling like, man, I want to eat like some sugar or something, or even like I was like craving other things, and it was just the water. So make sure you drink a lot of water.
You drink water from the Quichata. I can't pronounce it, but I think we do too. We had the green bottles from Sprouts. I forget what that was. But yeah, it's a physiological thing.
The mountains ones?
Yeah, the mountain ones.
Mountain Spring, I think they were.
So besides the physiological thing of water helping you lose weight, then there's also the aspect of these make, like when you need a snack, you know how we're used to snacking? These make a pretty good snack. Like
Yeah, true. Like some people
does,
just want to put something in their mouth.
Normal water doesn't quite make a snack for me. But that, it's like, oh, it's kind of like I'm having a little
Yeah,
soda.
something about the sparkliness of it, the little
So
carbonation.
that's a good snack.
Like that you don't get it with it. That's why it's kind of a little bit of the trick to the keto diet is to have sparkle water, because otherwise, like the carbonation, because a lot of people like drinking soda for the same reason, but soda is no good for you. So if you do carbonated water, you get a similar effect to what you like with soda, but you don't get the sugar. And I would avoid the flavors, because flavoring is not good. Flavoring kind of just tricks your brain, and sometimes like your brain gets messed up and still thinks it's getting sugar and can create insulin and stuff, because when you do artificial sugar, it messes with the brain. It's not good. There's a lot of, it's not natural, so it causes a lot of we don't all know that all the things, because it's here's the issue. A lot of the things that we eat now had only started in the 80s or 90s, and so we're just now getting to the time where you'd be like, hey, now they might start seeing the side effects of some of these things. So that's why you go, well, we've been doing this forever. And so I think we haven't really been doing these things forever. Some of these things, like all these artificial flavorings, all the GMOs, that's the genetically modified organisms, all these antibiotics and steroids and things to just like make everything last longer and be more plump and be, like everything they want bigger. So if you're consuming things that are bigger, then you're going to be bigger. So whether it be the fruit, the vegetable, or the animal, they're trying to make them bigger and last longer and, just be like something that's not necessarily nutritious, something that sells. Does that make sense? And things that sell usually are sugary. So
always.
Almost always. Because, like, have you ever had sugar-free stuff? How many people like sugar-free stuff, right? You had sugar, people are like, oh, this is great. I love all these cooking shows where they, like, make all these, like, beautiful presentations, but all it is sugar.
Yeah.
In order to make your food, like, beautiful, where it's, like, colors, that's sugar. So you only will have natural colors if you're eating healthy. Anything where you see, like Skittle-looking colors.
Yeah, any blue.
That's not good for you.
Alcoholic beverages, too.
Yeah, well, I recommend drinking alcoholic beverages, period, but whatever.
But if you have one that's blue, it's
I don't drink cleaning solvent anymore. I used to.
Yeah,
Don't know more. That's all alcohol is cleaning
solvent.
solvent.
For the water.
So I used to be heavily addicted to alcohol. I do not drink alcohol anymore.
Oh, God, you were so bad.
Oh, I was the worst alcoholic.
Well, you're part Irish and part Native American.
Oh.
Right.
People will seriously be
Native
like in my
Americans.
past, like when I had, I'd relapse because now it's not even a question. Alcohol is the stupidest thing I could ever do. But in my past, I would, stumble with it, and people would be like, oh, I want to see you drink. You seem like you'd be so fun. And I'm like, no, I'm warning you, you don't want to, because I'd be like sober. Like my sister tried to get me. I was sober for like 5 years, and she got me to drink again. You're not an alcoholic, and then got me to drink again, and then later tried to get me sober again. Oh, Jesus. But people would always be like, oh, you'd be so fun. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not. I know you think I would be, and I am for maybe like 10 minutes, and then it goes downhill. It's not good. I'm sure you can testify. It's not good when I drink. Like, I just go nuts. I go from, like, having fun to being, like, a nightmare. And I can never only have
emotional issues going on.
Yeah, I can never only have one drink. It never is gonna happen.
Also, you have
not even gonna play that it's gonna happen. It would not happen.
Native Americans are susceptible to alcoholism, as are Irish.
Yeah, my whole family is a bunch of alcoholics, so I just avoid alcohol, and I also avoid sugar now, because I'm a sugar addict. And I was like, what was that noise? The little fan just came on. I was like, hello there. Yeah. So people say, like, well, how do you know that you're just not, like, how do you know that you're not going to slip up? It's like, well, it's really easy when you just refrain. You just say, I'm just not going to. And now at this point, now that we're taking care of Annette, it's just not. Like, we just not going to happen. We're not going to slip up with the sugar or the alcohol or any sort of drugs. All we do is weed, and I do my beef. He does other proteins. I just do beef and water. But it's no longer even, it's just no longer even an option in our mind. It's not like, Oh, it's not. And in the past, it had been, where we had stopped and you're kind of like in the back of your mind, like, oh, that day. Now, no. And you guys will get there, and some people do, some people maybe don't. But when you do, you know what I'm talking about. You just are like, you're just done with any sort of thing like that. It's kind of like been there, done that, move on. But Annette really needs us, and we were only kind of fucking off in a sense when we didn't realize she needed us, if that makes sense. We didn't know. So now that we know, there'd be no way. Because now, me and Richard are really good people. People think that we weren't because we kind of just like lived for ourselves. So all of a sudden we didn't have kids. We were like, we didn't have kids, so we just got to do whatever we wanted. But then now that we have Annette, we are actually the kind of people that like, we're like, oh, we would never. Like if we had children, we would never do any sort of partying. Like me and Richard would be like, we wouldn't even smoke weed if we had children, probably. We'd just be like, that's just because we already see how we are with the bunny. And as soon as we started basically taking care of Annette, it was like not a question. We just stopped everything. So it took me a second to get off the bulimia, but I already knew I needed to because Annette really didn't like it too. Like she knew when I was bulimic and stuff. And so as soon as we started caring for her, I just knew I had to get healthy. And that's why I get mad at moms because I feel like as soon as you become a mom, you really got to put your children first, and especially things like worried about your own looks when you have your kids concerned. Like, I'm not saying don't worry about your looks, but I'm saying like your kids need to come first. So what I mean by that is like the moms that are choosing to be bulimic instead of caring for their kids, and you say, oh, you can do both. You can't, because bulimic, that becomes too much of an addiction. Like it's taking over your mindset, so your mindset is more on your addiction than your children. And any addiction that takes over, just like a mother that gets on heavy drugs, like heroin or meth, if a mother was on meth, you would say the same thing. You can't be like, oh, she can be a mom and just kind of casually do heroin or meth. You can't. So the same thing with bulimia. And the reason why I didn't want to become a mom is because I was bulimic and I didn't know how to stop. So I didn't want to be a bulimic mom. And it ultimately came down to that. And that's what makes me sad because I wanted to be a mom, but I couldn't get over my bulimia until I was, what age? 2015. So I was born in 1985. What age was I in 2015? That was kind of already late for me. I didn't really feel like being a mom by that point, and I was just trying to get out of bulimia at that point. But if I had not been bulimic in my early 20s, I definitely would have been a mom. And so it makes me sad that my eating disorder got in the way of that. But I'm also happy that I didn't decide to become a mom while I had an eating disorder. Because now I'd be a great mom, but I don't have an eating disorder now. I had one. And you guys say, oh, you're going to be a great mom. You're young. I would not yell at my kids. Like, these are two adults that are the most strong-willed ladies that actually both have been so violent at me. Now they listen to me because they respect me. But when I first moved in this house, both Annette used to get at me every single day. She used to hip check me and everything every day. I tried to avoid Annette like the plague. She hated me when I first got here. I mean, if she saw me, she just came at me, elbows, hips, anything. She'd throw things at me. She hated me because she didn't know really why I was in her house. Who is this girl? Because I'd been a part of the family, but never interacted with her that much. So she knew who her brother was and she knew who her mom was, but who's this girl? So it was very difficult. And she was on meth too when we first got here. So she was like, it was crazy. And then Gloria, of course, came at me many times. The one we have on film, the other ones we don't, but the wine bottle one was the worst. I wish we had that on film. That was the scariest moment ever. Gloria came at me. I was yelling at her about her finances, about a foreclosure. She kept denying it was in foreclosure. I'm like looking at the paperwork. But she came at me with a wine bottle and she was going to smash it over my head. And Richard stopped her. And I was terrified because I did not think she was not going to do it. And I mean, like, she was coming at me and I was like, whoa. It was scary. Like, if Richard didn't stop her, I think she would have done it. Like, I don't think she was going to stop herself. Because Gloria has major rage. And that's what we're trying to explain is, like, when I yell at the ladies, I might say some things that are not nice. And because I am someone that is very stern. And I think that you should grow up. And when you're an adult, I will speak to you as an adult. Even if you have a mental disorder because she still is an adult with a mental disorder, so she still understands like an adult, but I take care of her like a child. I clean up after like a child, but I speak to her mostly like an adult because she is an adult. She doesn't like to be treated like a child, like treated like she's an idiot. So I was speaking to her like the adult that she is, and if an adult was being that much in denial about something that we needed to her to be aware of, this meth thing, she's like, I've never been on drugs, but we're like, well, what are you doing in this movie? And the whole thing is crazy. So I do feel bad for calling her names. I should not have done that, and I won't do that again. But I also feel that in the moment, she understood that when I said that, I was upset. It's kind of why it was like, I'm kind of someone that doesn't usually use bad words, and so when I do, people know that I'm upset. So I sometimes do it for effect. Like, I remember the first time I used the F word to my parents. I was like an adult, and they were just like, oh my goodness. Everybody sat back. Oh, Joy, so mad. And so sometimes I do that so people know that I mean business kind of thing, because I rarely ever even tell Annette she does anything wrong ever. I just everything to Annette, I just say that's great. But this day we decided to kind of hold her accountable a little bit to some of her actions, and it's made a big difference. She's feeling really proud. For one thing, the whole movie helped because I think she was thinking this whole channel was a little bit about like, oh, look at poor Annette and look at her condition kind of thing, not like, look at how she was abused and not taken care of. So less of like, because this is less about her condition, it's more about her treatment, if Gloria had treated her better, her condition would be better. She was in such a dire condition because of her treatment more than the psychosis part of it. But so I think she didn't realize, now that she sees it's that way, she's really happy. She really likes it. She's like, oh, okay, that's why. And so I was talking to her last night, and I said, yeah, that's why people are really proud of you, because you're so strong.
Nisa sent
thank you, Nisa.
on
PayPal.
Yeah, she goes on the screen.
Thank you, Nisa. Thank you. Send us $6. Thank you. Or whatever it was. I know it came $6.11, so it's probably, the conversion. I don't know. Thank you. Anyways, thank you guys. You guys are killing it. It means so much to us. And I was so embarrassed of that video. I seriously told her to take out the part. And I think maybe even deleted it now, because I just was like, I've never called Annette a name ever. And it was a very emotional day. And I think by calling her that, it really did impact her to where she kind of changed. Because I've never gotten mad at it. I don't know if you guys know that. I've never ever. And the whole time I've been here, she used to body check. I've always just never. I've gotten mad at Gloria many times, but never Annette. Never Annette. I just never. And so we did that because we wanted. Well, actually, we didn't plan on doing that. What happened is, she watched the video. We thought she would just watch the video, and then she got so amped up about it that I felt it was the appropriate time to be like, oh no, Annette, because this was a more denial of a drug abuse than her condition, because we saw a real transition. I don't know if you guys saw that, when she gets very upset about it. So it was a real learning moment, I felt. And some people really might not approve of the way that I teach. But you guys know I am a trained instructor. I don't know if you know that. I'm a trained military instructor. I'm an instructor. I was trained in the military. So I trained by military. So it might be a little bit more abrasive than most people are used to. But no, I was an instructor. I went to instructor training and everything. So I'm an airborne surveillance instructor on the AWACS plane. But I went to 6 months of instructor training, where they teach you how to be an instructor. But they teach you how to be a military instructor. So I might be a little bit intense to the average. But I do have training in how to deal with people, and to do it not where you're abusing people. But in the military, you do have to break people down. I don't know if you know that. That's the whole training, when you go to basic training. Because people come in and they are very strong-willed and not disciplined. So in order to get people disciplined, you have to break them down first. And Gloria and Annette were the most strong-willed, undisciplined people. And I wish I could have just let them be that way. But the problem was they were hurting themselves. Their undiscipline was hurting them. So I came in, kind of like people saying, drill sergeant, I kind of am. But I also come from a family that my parents were both in the Army. So I was not raised to be a pansy or a pussy in a sense. So I have a hard time with children. I'm very, very gentle with, and animals. But adults, I'm like, oh, no, you're an adult. You can man up or woman up, whatever. So, because even as a child, I was treated like an adult. So I'm like, I wouldn't treat a child that way, though. But I know that even, like, I could take it, and I did. So I'm like, I know at your guys' age, you can take it of, like, they want to say, like, tough love or whatever. But it's more just, like, discipline of, like, no, when you do something wrong, you're going to get scolded. And then stop doing that, and you won't get scolded anymore. And it's not that I'm saying this because I'm a control freak, but this is something of your own safety. Like with Annette, you were on meth, you're not anymore. We don't want you on it again. But without being aware you're ever on it, you could get back on it again, because we want her to have the awareness of I was on it, I'm not anymore. So I don't want to do that again. Right now it's like never happened. Like, okay. But we do feel that even though she's saying it never happened, she now is aware. Because that movie really woke her up. That's why she was a little bit shocked. I don't know. But some people say that when she goes into that, she might be in another trance where she can't really remember. So maybe seeing that video did kind of like, was the first time she's kind of had that awareness. And so it was a kind of a shock to her. She was telling us it was fabricated. But I think now, like, she kind of is, because seriously, ever since that incident, which was, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, I forget, it says on there, but Annette's demeanor and her attitude and her happiness, it's just been, she's been so happy, and she's been really excited about everything, and she, like, me and her are so close right now. We've been giving each other lots of hugs and kisses and stuff, which she's, Annette, when I first got here, you could not even touch her. Like, you could not. I was the first one that started to be able to touch her. And I remember I would start rubbing her back and stuff. And it was, she didn't want anyone to touch her at all. And so I first started kind of giving her hugs. And then even before, like, Richard couldn't give her a hug when we first got here. No one could touch her. So I kind of got her into now. So now I've kind of started giving her kisses on the cheek and stuff, which... So that's good, because she likes affection, but she had been so closed off for so many years that it was very hard for her to receive affection at first from people. Because Gloria doesn't give affection. I don't know if you guys know that. It's really, there's no affection from Gloria ever. Like, I even asked her, I'm like, did she ever even hold you as a baby? He's like, I don't think so. It's weird. That's why there's no, like, when you hug her, it's weird. You get, like, a pullback from her. Like, you try and hug her, and she rears back from you. So I know Gloria must have had a tough childhood. I don't know, because there's a lot of, like, clearly emotional something there. But it was hard as she won't let us in. We try, and we would love to take her to see a counselor or something, but she doesn't want to. So I don't know. But we still need to take her to court. But at the car thing, and then the social workers came over. Right now, what is it, Friday? So, yeah, but it's always something around here, but we are so thankful, you guys. Yesterday, that was so cool with the car thing, because we would have never thought to get that thing from Amazon. I am totally keeping that thing. That thing is the smartest thing to have in the car. I got to remember to charge it, though, because I've never seen something so easy to jump a car like that. It's so small and just like, bam. Like, jeez. If we had these when I was a kid, life would be so much easier. Man, I remember so many days of trying to jump to get someone to stop on the side of the road to jump your car. I hope they have jumper cables, because we never had jumper cables. Those were expensive. Jumper cables are something that you had to afford to have in your car. So my parents never had something like that in the car. So you hope the other person had jumper cables. But my parents always had cars that broke down because they didn't have money. So we were always broken down on the side of the road. That is such a common occurrence. So it's nice now, like, to have you guys, like, really help us, because we have had a lot of car problems since we've been here too. Even we got this car, I mean, we knew it wasn't going to be fantastic, because we had to get basically a car from, a pretty shady place, the only place that would loan to us, because we didn't have any credit. Me and Richard didn't have bad credit, we just had no credit. Gloria had bad credit. we didn't have any credit because we hadn't had any credit cards this whole time we'd been together. Now we have a bunch because pay Gloria's stuff. We've had to get credit cards and pay out of all of our money and everything just to get all of her stuff. So now we got credit card debt paying her crap. But prior to living here, we hadn't had a credit card, and so the car loan now is actually giving us some credit, which is nice because it's pretty high payments. But not by choice. We wanted a cheaper car. They would not loan us a cheaper car because we didn't have any credit. So I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why do they give you a higher loan? But Richard said because they want in case you don't pay, they'll take the car back. They don't want a crappy car. I would just think if someone's at risk, give them a cheaper car, not the more expensive car. But what do I know? But we've been paying it, so they're happy. But we got to take it back to them because now it's under warranty, luckily. But I think they were shocked someone's making the payments. Like, ooh, jeez. And luckily, okay, so the big issue was the payments are high, but then the insurance was almost as high as the payments. So we were, oh, Jesus. And we had nothing. I mean, we had no other choice. We looked all over town for cars, and this was literally the only place that would lend to us. And it was one of those, he's like, 2,000 down, and then you can have the car. Well, he didn't look at like anything. It was like, oh, yeah, you're here? Okay, here, give me your driver's license, $2,000, you have the car, basically. But then they give you these really high interest loans, of course. And the car insurance was astronomical. But get this, thankfully, since I'm a veteran, Richard looked into USAA, and they brought the insurance payments way down. So I'm like, oh, pays off, finally, my being a veteran. Because I don't get any disability things. People were asking about that. I lost half my hearing, but I'm an idiot. So I was mad at the military for the way they handled it when my mom committed suicide. I didn't think that they handled it correctly. Because first, I went home for 2 weeks, and then I came back, and I talked to everybody in like my immediate flight and squadron and my squadron commander and stuff. And there was like the head people knew what was going on, but they said, "Do you want everyone to know about what happened, or do you want to just get back to work?" And I was like, "I just want to get back to work, and I don't want everyone asking me questions all the time, so I don't want everyone to know, because otherwise everyone's like, oh my god, your mama," you know. And it's just like, I don't want that, because anytime someone brought it up, I'd start bawling. So I was like, I just preferred no one talk about it. So this was great for like 3 months. But then my squadron commander got promoted to the Pentagon. His name was Colonel Roselli. He got a job in the Pentagon, and he left, and they brought in this new squadron commander, and his name was Colonel Ferguson. This is at Tinker Air Force Base, and in Oklahoma City. He didn't know anything about me, and so I flew all the time. I was an instructor, so my job was flying on the AWACS plane. I was an airborne surveillance instructor, which meant it's like an air traffic controller kind of in the sky. We talk to the fighter pilots and you tell them where the good and bad guys are, and you sit at a console and you have a screen, you know, like an air traffic controller where you see the radar. It's a Boeing 757 with a big radar dome. So my job was sitting at a console and looking at a radar screen all day, and then when I became an instructor, I stood behind my student and told them what to do, but you listen to like 5 different radios and stuff, so it's a lot going on. It's really fun. I loved it. I loved doing that job. And I was really good at it. That's why they made me an instructor right away, and I was one of the only people that you're supposed to have like 10 flights when you first start. I was so good that they only made me do 1 flight, and then they advanced me, and everyone was pissed off. That's not what happened to me, and everyone hated me, and I'm like, my fault. I didn't choose for that to happen. I just did a good job, and then it happened. I got all mad. But anyway, so I got advanced to become an instructor like right away too, and I was loving it. I was like the best instructor. And then that commander who had just come to the squadron ended up flying one day. So I'd been flying for like 3 months, like almost every other day, because instructors you fly way more. Most people only fly like twice a month. Instructors you could fly like every other day, So that commander was flying on our flight, and all day you mission plan the day before, so you fly every other day because you have to mission plan the day before, and then you fly, and then you mission plan, and then you fly. But so we mission plan the day before, and it's like this whole boring day of these PowerPoint briefings and stuff, and all day long. And then we had a 2 a.m. flight. So like in all this time, you could have let me know before we do all this, and my student gets all ready. I had a student, she's all prepared for the flight, and like you get nervous and stuff. So he waits till the 2 a.m. and then he's like, removes me and my student from the flight. He comes in and he's like, she can't fly and she can't fly. And he takes us off the flight. and like in front of everyone, and no one knew it happened. It was really embarrassing. And since he did that, since he was a commander, and since he took me off for mental health reasons, because he was worried because my mom had killed herself, he thought I might be suicidal, then I lost my flying status from that one move. And even though later they were like, she was fine, you shouldn't have done that. And he's like, oh, I didn't know, oops. Like, it was too late. Like, it couldn't be undone. Because it was like, a squadron commander is removing you for like mental health reasons. So now you need to be reevaluated. And they put me on suicide watch for the next couple months. And get this, suicide watch was the stupidest thing you can ever imagine in the military, because they didn't actually watch you all day. They watched you just while you were at work, and then they sent you home. But so they make you just sit in a room with someone all day, and then they would send you home. But what they would do to me is they'd be like, oh, you don't even have to stay all day. So they wouldn't even make you stay all day. They'd be like, you can go home. But I didn't have a car because my dad's lemon car that he had sold me was broken per usual. I had a 1992 Nissan 300ZX. It was it was not twin turbo. It was T-top. I didn't have the twin turbo. But it was a red with black leather interior. Super cool car, but it broke all the time. And it was in the shop per usual. So I was living like way off base, and I was like, hey, if you let me go home, please don't bring me back because I have to get a ride. And this is before Ubers and stuff, and taxis were astronomical back then. And I lived like 30 minutes from base, and I was like, please, it's a pain in the butt. If you're going to send me home, just keep me here. If but don't send me home and bring me back, because that's too hard for me. I have to call everybody, get rides, and everyone's getting annoyed and stuff. And what do you think they did? Every freaking day, same story. I'd be like, can I just stay all day? They'd be like, no, you can't, because the person who's watching you needs to go. We don't need you anymore. Just go on home. And I swear to you, for like 2 months, every day this would happen. They'd send me home, and then they'd call me back. And when they'd call me back, it wouldn't be for anything. Like, I would get there, and I'd be like, what'd you guys do? Oh, nothing. Just wanted to check on you. So I'm like, this suicide watch is actually making me want to commit suicide, because now you guys are hauling me back and forth, I'm having to get rides. It's a freaking nightmare. And all I do is just sit in a room all day when I could have just been flying and doing much better. And my eyes started twitching because of the anxiety of it, and it was just awful. Like, they literally fucked with me. And I was so upset, and I was so emotional all the time when they would just be like, oh, just come on back. And I'd be like, you're kidding, right? Like, you're joking with me, right? Because I literally asked you over and over before I left. Like, I know, but Joy, you're on suicide watch. You have to come back. We have to make sure you're okay. Like, okay, but you guys realize that you're fucking with me? Like, you make me want to commit suicide with this back and forth shit when I don't have a car and stuff. And you sent me home and then want me back, sent me home and want me back, and I don't have a car, and I have to ask people, and I live like 30 minutes from base. I know, but this is the Air Force procedure. Sorry. So they would do this stuff. So this happened for like 2 months. And then I got off suicide watch, but I couldn't get my job back. They said I was going to have to retrain for 2.5 years to get my job back. So I ended up getting out because I was going to be out. Once my mom died, I only had 1 year left anyways. So I was like, forget it. So I got an honorable discharge. But when they asked me if I wanted benefits for disability, I basically didn't want any money from them because I was pissed off at the Air Force. So that was a really stupid move. Because I was so mad that I was like, forget your benefits. And that was dumb because my ear is terrible. It hurts so bad, like all the time. Oh, if you touch it, like Richard once in a while, I accidentally touch it. Oh my God, it's awful. I can't barely hear out of that ear. But also, I play music in there because it actually is helpful. But I play it real loud in that ear because I can't really hear. And then I don't do the other one. So people think I can't hear them, but I'm like, it doesn't really, playing music in that ear doesn't affect me at all because I can't really hear about it. Like, I hear the music, but it's like talking, forget about it. I don't hear talking from that ear at all. It's like vocals, like, no. It's like, I read your mouth. There's like nothing there for vocals for. So when they're saying, take your headphones off, and now you can't hear me, I'm like, actually, it helps me a little bit because it drowns out like the annoying noises that I hear just all the time. But he thinks I'm like, I can't hear you from that ear. It's not like it makes a difference. There's nothing coming from that ear that you like of your voice. And when we go to concerts now, it's like I love music. Oh, it hurts. We went to see Lady Gaga. Gloria got Annette many years ago. like 2013, tickets to see Lady Gaga. Of course, Annette didn't want to go. And because Annette used to be in love with Lady Gaga. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know that. So she loves James Bay now. It used to be Lady Gaga. It was all about Lady Gaga. She loved Lady Gaga. And you guys don't know this about Annette. We're going to get her a karaoke machine because guess what? Not only do I love karaoke, but Annette loves karaoke. So, oh my gosh, if someone wants to gift us one of those little machines, we've been meaning to get that, but we haven't been able to afford it. It was going to be on the Christmas list, but then it didn't make it because there was too many other things we had to get. We actually were getting it for Christmas. We got Annette Birkenstocks and a warm jacket and blankets and things and stuff, and so the karaoke machine didn't make it. And we actually got a new little laptop and stuff for Christmas. So we've been every holiday that we've been here, we've been trying to get little things and stuff, but it was so bad when we first got it. So almost all the stuff in the house we've bought now. At this point, like barely anything is Gloria's stuff anymore because almost everything had to be replaced. We've either bought or got from the neighbors. The neighbors around here are fantastic for getting rid of nice stuff, putting it out for the trash. What are you guys in crazy? This isn't trash. Get out of here. This is quality stuff. We're grabbing rugs. I went dumpster diving for this mattress. I am not kidding. So we could just ask our neighbors to open the thing, but that would be tacky, we think. So instead we go dumpster diving into their dumpster that they get. Much less tacky, right? So they got one of them huge Republic Services big blue bins. We're scared that our neighbors will say no if we ask, and we needed the stuff because they're so square around here. We live in a super nice neighborhood and we're like the biggest rednecks around here. It's ridiculous. It's just, this is an embarrassment. So they put one of them huge sinks and they had all these stuff, the bedroom stuff, and we're like, oh man, we need that because this is before, and this is when Annette was on the cot still, and poor thing, and I was like, a free mattress, I'm not even gonna ask them because they might say no, and we have to get this. So it was so hot. It was last summer, and it was so hot. The bin was so hot, and we couldn't open it because it was at night, and they were inside, and we didn't ask them. So I had to crawl over, and Richard and Annette couldn't get in there. So I had to do it myself. So I got in there, and it was so hot. It was like burning me. It was metal. And I got in there. I had to lift this king-size mattress by myself out of that thing. Richard and Annette were on the other side, which was super useful of helping. And like, oh, great. Once I have it hoisted and up, then I can flop it over to you guys. Thanks. Like, that's a lot of help. But I did it, and it was so hard. It was so hard. I didn't think I could do it. And I was like, all right, but I had to do it because otherwise, like, Annette was going to sleep on my cot because we couldn't afford a mattress. We still wouldn't have been able. We just now, this last month got her another mattress, but we would have been waiting till that long. And we would have got her off the cot, but we wouldn't have been able to get her quality things. So, yeah, I hoisted this king-size mattress out there. I was like, ugh! And it took me a couple attempts to get it, but I was like, I got to get it for Annette. And, because then what we did is we took the one that was in here and put it in her room so she could have a bed. That was crazy, but we've gotten so many things from our neighbor. Normally it's not in a big old bin. Normally they just put it on the sidewalk. So. They would just think we're nuts around here. But me and Richard, we got chairs, we've gotten all the doors. So there were no doors in this house. I don't know if you guys know that too. That's another thing. Gloria took off all the doors. Don't know why, don't know where they went. There was no doors. The only door in this house was the front door. There was not a door. So we're like, that's going to be expensive to get all the doors. Fortunately, a neighbor decided to replace all of their doors in all their closets. So we have both the closets too, which are broken. We can replace them. We don't know how, but we have another set of those glass mirror closets in the garage, and every door. We even have a front door. And we're like, what are the chances of that? I mean, those are just the things that happen. We're like, that's just beautiful because they're fitted for these houses. These are special sized doors that you'd have to get them come custom. And so these are not nearly as nice as the ones that, used to be in here. They're just flat white doors, but we were like, hey. So we put doors everywhere. And Annette loved when she finally got a door in her room. She never had a door on her room. And there wasn't a door here in this room or anything. So, or the bathrooms or anything. No doors. No doors. I don't know where the doors went. I'm like, how did Gloria get the doors off? And then where did they go? Because they weren't here it's not like we got rid of doors when we got here. There were no doors. He's like, so Gloria doesn't get rid of me. These are how the doors go away. It's weird. And it's not like you could ask her. We have. I mean, you just don't get a solid answer. And this is the thing of like, we go, oh, because she's getting old as a mention. It's like, you would never, if Gloria was 20 years old and you asked her where the doors went, you wouldn't have got a solid answer. It's something is, I don't know. And I don't want to make fun of her. There's clearly something wrong, but it's frustrating when she's undiagnosed. We can't get her to ever admit anything's wrong or try to get any help for anything wrong, and then we just have to deal with like nonsense 24/7. You're just like, I want to be in Gloria's brain for a day so bad. I just want to so bad. Then I could understand her more, because I just don't understand her. I really don't understand her, and that's the bottom line. Why me and her clash? I don't understand her. Like, I don't understand where she comes from on anything. I'm like, I don't understand how you treat your kids this way. I don't understand how you're so dirty. I don't understand how you don't understand how you gambled all the money away. I don't understand, even if you say you don't remember, we're telling you. So whether you remember or not, we're saying you did. All of your bills are saying you did. The DA checks are saying you did. It's like, whether you remember, can you just accept that, hey, I maybe don't remember, but I see that's what's happening? And like all this stuff. And so it's just like this thing, this whole, I don't get it. Because I've always been someone like, yeah, I got issues, and I'll list them off. And I by no means think that I do everything right or anything, and I feel bad. I shouldn't have called Annette names, and I'll admit that. And, I can get harsh, and I feel bad about that. But I also think that everyone's doing better now, so I don't necessarily take it back, but I won't do it again, if that makes sense. But I don't know if I would have done it differently because the result turned out so well, but in the moment, if it were to happen again, I wouldn't do it the same, if that makes sense. But like the way that it all worked out, I'm like, wow, it's kind of what I was intending to happen. I thought that is what would happen. So, I mean, I got the desired goal. I thought that if we sat them down and had a hard discussion, that they'd have a little more clarity and awareness, and they seem to be. But I feel bad for calling Annette a name. I don't know why I did that. I don't know. She really did upset me, though. I really got upset with her because it hurt my feelings that she was lying to me, because she's never lied to me before. And I was really shocked, because I honestly didn't even think that she would lie. And I was really stunned. It was weird. It was just weird. I think I was a little bit upset to see a different side of her. So, but we're all good now. And I won't ask her about it again. That's over. We're all moving on. We've passed it. But I think we're doing better than ever. So it feels really good. But it is scary for me. It really is scary for me, because I fear that people will misinterpret everything, and that the authorities will come back over or something. And, to be honest, that day I was really nervous, because Richard kept saying, maybe they're going to try to put a case against you for like assault for throwing pancakes or something. And I'm like, that would suck, because I'm really trying to help these ladies. And all of these incidences have made things better. Like the pancake incident, like after that, things got better here. Because I'm kind of one of those people, like, I'm always really nice, and when I get mad, like, things change. Because people are like, oh, Joy's mad. So it's like, it's significant, where you guys think I'm just like flying off the handle all the time. You guys just saw me venting early on here, because it's my first time I really got to vent about what we've been dealing with for 12 years total, but definitely the last year and a half. But Gloria's been a pain in the neck all along. It's just we didn't know to what level, but she used to text Richard like 100 times a day. It was insane. We're just always complaining. It's just constant complaints about everything and anything, and just we just started to ignore her, because it was never anything but a complaint. Everything. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't help me with this, I don't just always. It was overwhelming, her negativity. So Richard just started to just kind of just block it out as much as he could. He kind of couldn't. She would upset him every time he got a text from her. And so we dealt with that for years. So, but then by the time I moved in, it was like I had already known how much anger he had towards his mother and stuff. And then I saw how she treated Annette, and I was like, oh, geez. So people were like, why are you so upset with Gloria? Well, that's because I'm I love her kids, and I was with Richard all these years, and I know how much he was affected by her. And then now I moved in and saw how much Annette was affected by her, and I was like, that is why I had an issue. So it's not me directly an issue with her. It's because the people I love the most were hurt by her, and she doesn't ever change. She kind of continues to hurt them because by not acknowledging, like, but she still blames them, like it's still their fault for everything. So that's where it's hard. But other than that, though, everything's going really well. We got to get the battery. Thank you everybody that helped with that, with the like just the advice and the money too. People donated. You guys have been amazing with the support. We honestly are really blown away. Like, we feel really honored because, like I said, we've done social media in the past, but it was almost all negative. I mean, we had a couple people that liked us through it, but not like this. Like, it was like, you guys actually like us. It was more like, we don't hate you kind of thing. We had the hate and the we don't hate you, but not like, oh, we actually like you. That's kind of new. So we feel like we could not believe when Amanda came over yesterday. All of us we're all like, oh my God, we have a guest. Yeah, everybody's freaking out because that's why I was like, got irritated with Gloria. So she's like putting on a show. I'm like, people don't understand why I get so irritated with things, but I don't like when people are fake. And Gloria's the epitome of fake, where she's one way when no one's around, and then as soon as the camera or someone comes over, which is so rare, someone's coming over, but more when the camera comes out, she totally changes, and that irritates me. Like, I get irritated by fake people, like, so bad, because I'm such a real person, and it grinds my gears. I'm like, hey, what is there? A show? You know, it grinds my gears. Isn't there a show that the guy always says that? I don't know. But anyways, I'm just one of those people that I cannot stand fakeness. Like, oh, yeah, hold on. Is that you, Nettie? Yeah, definitely. I'll come say hi. I like your shirt. You look so cute.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay,
beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah, Las Vegas. Do you guys see her? Yeah, Las Vegas. Gloria used to work for the Las Vegas Convention Center, so she had these Las Vegas shirts. It's Gloria. Gloria would have these little jobs, but she just had them to so she could gamble more. But I don't even know how much they paid off her at all, because like I know she had a little job at Steinmart, and she would spend more than she made there at the little store. And then I'm wondering, at the Las Vegas Convention Center, I'm sure she spent more at every casino that she went to work than she made. But that's why we were irritated, because she kept saying she needed these little jobs, but really it was just taking her away from Annette. And those jobs weren't giving her any money. They were, like I said, costing her money. She would tell me at Steinmart she would owe them money because she'd like put things aside that then when her paycheck came, they'd be like, oh no, you actually don't get any paycheck, but here's your tab, kind of thing. We all along kind of thought that Gloria was really needing some extra money, but we didn't realize if she had just stayed home, then she would have been able to pay all of her bills pretty much for life. If she just bought what they needed, not overbought, and not gambled, they would have been set, because the dad really set her up nicely. But we were under the impression that she couldn't make it, and so that's why we were trying to, get her lawyers or giving her money all the time to get everything lowered, or even Richard would help her get jobs, because we thought, okay, if you need a little extra income, and we thought that'd be good for her so that she wasn't, lonely and depressed. But we didn't realize Annette needed her 24/7. We didn't know that, because she never let us know that. She always was like, oh, Annette is fine, And we thought Annette was pretty independent, so we thought, and we thought Gloria's jobs, she only worked a couple hours a day, so I thought that'd be fine. But we didn't realize, on top of the couple hours a day, then she spent the rest of the time at the casinos gambling or whatever, or shopping. So it was like no time with Annette. So that's what we were unaware of. And that's how people were like, how did it get this bad? Well, it's been many years that we knew the house was bad, but Gloria wouldn't let us in, and she wouldn't let anyone come to clean. We couldn't send anyone to clean. It's not like we could send in like a cleaner. She was, that's why the way I did it was crazy. I mean, it took a long time. I couldn't do it overnight. Like, I had to each day take out a little bit of stuff, and so Gloria didn't notice like the small amounts. And then over time, she didn't realize that, like, everything had gotten clean, but I couldn't do it all at once. She would freak out. She'd be like, what is that bag? What's that going outside? What's in there? So I had to, like, because most of the stuff was garbage because the mice had destroyed so many things. So very few things were salvageable. Of just like in her closet, like even the clothes, like there was piles of clothes, but most of the clothes had been shredded and bit through and pooed on and peed on and stuff by the rodents and stuff. It was really gross. So almost like 95% of the stuff in the house was just garbage, and Gloria would have never thrown any of it out. And so what I did sort through, I had to sort through. There were things that we kept, of course. There's a lot of stuff that we kept, but a lot of it was just straight garbage that I just had to take out of this house. And we did it little by little by little. And she just never really noticed because we did it so slowly. That's why you guys like, what took so long? Well, we couldn't, she was a hoarder, so we couldn't do it all at once. And we couldn't have sent someone in to do it. She would have freaked out. And she still like freaks out with the throwing out of the food. I've kind of stopped doing that as much. I'm letting her have it a little bit longer. So, but the problem is, if I don't throw out the leftovers, then she gives Annette like macaroni and cheese for breakfast. That's what she did today. She made macaroni and cheese last night, and I debated. I was like, I'll leave it, even though macaroni and cheese, Kraft macaroni and cheese, the second day is after it sat out all night, and then you put it in the fridge, is not very edible, but I'll leave it in there. And of course, so she served Annette pancakes and macaroni and cheese this morning. And I'm like, this is why I throw these things out. Otherwise, I don't know. I'd like to sit in her brain for a day. I don't know why she comes up with these things. Why macaroni and cheese and pancakes sound like a good idea in the morning, but to each his own. But that's why I kind of try to monitor what she gives to Annette by throwing things out. Otherwise, she gives Annette really weird things. And so people are like, why do you throw out the food? I don't understand. Because it's to make sure Annette doesn't get macaroni and cheese for breakfast. But, oh well. I didn't throw it out last night. And Gloria was super happy to have her macaroni and cheese this morning. Okay, so anyways, today I put out spaghetti. We'll see if she makes it. She has not been making the things I've been putting out, so we'll see. I put it out because Gloria has a really hard time meal planning. Like she doesn't know how to put things together. So like if there's all of these ingredients, she just doesn't know what to make. So I'll put out a meal for her to make, and then it's gone really well for lunch. I'll do that when she's at the gym. But recently she's getting this attitude where she just doesn't make anything I put out, which is fine. But then she just makes really weird stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right. But so I tried again today. We'll see. So hopefully Annette will get something other than just macaroni and cheese again. Because there's still macaroni and cheese left. I left it too. I was like, I should throw it out. So I shouldn't give her that for lunch. But I'm trying to not throw out her food as much because she gets so darn mad. So I'm hoping she makes at least some spaghetti instead of serving her macaroni and cheese for lunch as well. But we'll see. But that's why I throw it out. People go like, I don't understand why you go and throw out the food in this woman's fridge. That's a little bit intrusive. I'm like, I know, but she'll keep giving Annette these nasty leftovers because Gloria's lazy. So if there's anything in the fridge that can be warmed up, she's going to give it to Annette and not cook. So I literally have to remove any of the leftovers so that she cooks something for Annette because Annette doesn't like leftovers. So for years, Gloria thought that Annette just didn't eat. It was that Annette didn't want to eat what she gave her. Does that make sense? So when you gave Annette something that she liked, she would eat it. Not when she was on meth. But there were times that Annette just didn't want to eat Gloria's food. Because we started to realize that that's when I started cooking for her. And it was going so well. And then Annette got some weird thing where she wanted Gloria cooking again. I don't know. She goes through these phases. So it was like no longer did she want us cooking. I think she felt bad because Gloria, when we cooked, Gloria really has no purpose. She just sits there. At least she gets off the couch to cook. So I think Annette was being nice and wanted Gloria to keep cooking. We did too. We wanted her to, but Gloria didn't want to. So we were picking up the side. Richard for a minute was like doing all of the cooking. He was making burgers for everybody. We had them on some really healthy protein for a minute. They were eating burgers, and they were eating other things with their burgers, but we were giving them burgers, and it was going really well. They were getting really healthy, and then I don't know, everyone just said they got on this kick where they didn't want to have our burgers anymore, and they didn't want to eat anything we were making, and they bitched about everything we made, and they started throwing it out and hiding it under the bed, and we were like, fine. Gloria can keep cooking, but now Annette's like on such a bad diet, which upsets me because I really wanted her on a healthier diet. But at least I got rid of the candy, and the only thing I'm letting her snack on these days is chips, because she really likes chips, and I figure she has to have something to snack on. So I'm allowing her to have like Pringles, and then I'm giving her the organic peanut butter, cashew butter, and almond butter for a snack, and she's been eating a lot of that. So she's done so much better than when we were giving her like a bunch of candy. And the only reason we're giving candy is because early on, she would only eat candy when she was like not on her meds. She would just eat candy. She wouldn't eat some, if you got her a bag of Skittles, she would eat it. So we were like, get her Skittles. At least she would eat, because she was getting so emaciated that we're like, if she'll eat Skittles, good. But then I started to realize, this is getting bad. She actually was starting to put on a lot of belly fat. Not even like anywhere else, just her belly was getting big. I was like, oh, I gotta cut out her sugar, because that's what happens. Sugar, it goes to your belly. I don't know if you guys, if you deal with belly fat, it's often from too much sugar. That's where if you're really irritated. I used to hate my stomach. I don't know if you guys know that. So like, I'm pretty proud of my stomach now. Like, I feel pretty proud of, like, I like it, because for years I hated my stomach. That was my least favorite part of my body, and I always wanted to have a fit stomach. Like, that was like my dream. It was like, oh my God, to have one of those like ripped stomachs. And now I pretty much have it, and without even working out, because I don't really like working out that much. I don't know if you guys know that about me. I'll do it a little bit. I like doing things. Love being active, like cleaning, being active, but I'm not a huge fan of working out. So I've always been very athletic. I did track and stuff, but I remember when I did track, I remember thinking, I like running. I don't like running this much. You know what I mean? It was like everything I like in moderation of, like, when it comes to exercise, this whole going to the gym for 2.5 hours, which we were doing for a while. Yeah, I liked that for about 2 years, and then I was like, this is getting old, because I just don't. I know some people seem to just really dig it. More power to you guys. I'm not one of those people. I do my nunchucks, I got my push-ups, and I stay active. And now I love to go swimming about 3 laps, good to go. That's it. If I run half mile, be good. That's a good amount. Just don't see the point of killing myself for exercise. I always wish I was like, man, I wish I was one of those people that just over-exercise. I wish I had that drive. Not been my thing. So, what I like about the keto diet is you don't have to exercise much. It's all what you eat, not as much. You want to stay active. You don't want to just be laying around, because that's never good for anybody. I mean, like, in the sense of, like, don't just be active in the sense of the stuff around your house even. Like, that's why when I get irritated with Gloria is, like, she wastes all of her energy at the gym. She could be, spending time. Now that I clean, it doesn't matter, but I'm saying, like, she would do that whether I was here or not, where she's someone that would leave her house a complete disaster and then go waste all of her energy at the gym. And I'm like, you could clean your house for exercise as well. That seems like something that would make sense, but I don't know. That's just the way I've always been. I use daily activities to do my exercise instead of, like, driving all the way to the gym and waiting on machines and, like, sweaty ass people. And we used to go to LVAC, Las Vegas Athletic Club. That's a really nice. I like their facilities, but I got so tired of going to the gym, and I get so tired of the smell of the gym. We were gonna go the other day, as in, like, 6 months ago. We were like, maybe we'll sign up, but it just always comes down to we don't want to be away from Annette, because because we can't go to the club here, so maybe we'll sign up here. But we're away for like 2 hours. We don't want to do that, because we wanted to go swimming regularly, because we like swimming. Because we can go 12 times a year to the little thing here as a guest, so it means we can go once a month. But we would love to swim every day, but we can't, but that's okay. But so we were like, maybe we'll get a gym membership, but we didn't really want to be away from it. But so we walked into LVAC, and we're like, oh, we just remember the smell of all these sweaty people and the machines and the sweaty people. It's just a weird smell in the gym. But the beauty of what we do, the keto, is not having to work out, because I know there's other people that don't like working out. I know I'm not alone on that one. I know there's other people that hate working out. Because I remember when I was young, I always liked running. But I remember I was very unique in that no one else liked running. So I was a cheerleader and I did track. But so for cheerleading, they made us run, which I guess was unique. Not all cheerleaders did they have to run, so we would have to run a mile before during practice, and some of the cheerleaders just found that to be absolutely ridiculous. We had to run a mile. I didn't mind running a mile because I did track. A mile was nothing. They'd make us run like 20 miles for a track. Because I did the mile, the 2 mile, and the 800, so they'd make us long distance runs. So you'd have to run a long ways. So for cheerleading, I was like, oh, there's no problem. But every other girl, oh God, bitch to the ends of the earth about that. They hated that. Except actually there was one other girl that didn't mind. It's funny because I'm 5'6", and there was this one girl, she was only 4'11", and she could run as fast as me. But I always thought to myself, you're working so much harder than me. Because her little legs would go so damn fast, and I would just take these long ass strides. And I was like, we'd be running at the same pace, but I was like, wow, you're working a lot harder. I feel bad because she was a fast runner because she was short, so it was much harder for her. And I would just be like striding. She'd be like, she was so small. But yeah, anyways, I don't run anymore. I like walking. I don't like running anymore. But Richard hates running. Richard hates exercising. If you guys saw, I don't know if you guys saw the videos, some of the shorts from not that long ago. Richard was still pretty heavy. He just recently took off a lot of weight. And so we were starting to walk around this neighborhood. And that's kind of how we first got him back in shape. And he hates it. Richard hates it. He hates going for walks. He hates running. I love it. I could walk forever. And same with Annette. Annette walks forever. But anyways, he's sleeping. All right, do you guys want to make lunch? Who's ready for lunch? We're going to make lunch. So guess what? I went to Walmart this morning, and they changed the packaging on the organic beef. I'm going to show you guys this brand new package. So I think that's a good thing, but I'm always a little bit nervous because sometimes that means they've changed the quality. So we'll see. I get nervous when I see new packages. I get nervous when I see new packaging on things because with the whole new shrinkflation going on, everything seems to be getting crappier, not better. So we'll see. I hope the quality's the same. I hope they just change the package. But usually when they change the package, they change the quality. Because why are you changing the package? You change something else, right? I don't know. We'll find out. So everybody ready? We're gonna do it. I gotta get it all set up. Let me change. Actually, I'm getting a little bit hot. I got pants on. I like wearing pants because the bed bug issue. But I don't really have it anymore too much. But it's getting hot now. So if people were like, oh, poor Amanda coming over here, we don't really have it much anymore. So luckily, hopefully, knock on wood, poor Amanda. But it's really, really gotten pretty much minimized. I mean, I haven't seen one in several days, and we used to see it 24/7. I used to get bit every night. So you guys really helped. But this thing was amazing. This, if anybody is needing, this works. Wherever Grace got this, I don't know. This stuff works really good. And it doesn't smell that bad. So you can spray it throughout the day is what's nice. So like the other stuff you have to like leave. You have to like those, we used to do the bed bug bombs and those things, poor Annette. That was the issue why her room was worse than ours because we were doing it every day, setting off one in this room. But poor Annette, I couldn't because I would set one off and then it wouldn't fail. She'd walk right back. Like it'd be like, oh, maybe she went for a walk for a while. Not this time. She comes back in like 5 minutes and then she would walk in and just be like gasping for air. Because we'd be like, don't go in your room, don't go in your room. And of course, she'd go in her room. And then she'd be like, no, sorry, I'm done my eye. Okay, let me go change. Let me get all the stuff set up, you guys. Here, I'll set you here. You can see what's going on, but don't be peeking while I get dressed. You guys can you see, Cash? Okay. It's getting hot. I don't know what the temperature is today, but it's getting hot. It's June is usually the hottest month in Las Vegas, but by July and August you feel hotter because you're just tired of it. But usually the highest, the record like numbers are usually hit in June, like with 120. It's usually in June, but by August you're oh my god, you're so done with the heat in Las Vegas. Okay, guys, we're gonna cook. So let's get this going here. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna cook in the bathroom per usual. Let me get the other tripod. Hold on. Ah, Jesus! I twist my ankle. I literally almost twisted my ankle on the cord. Oh dear. I have a bad ankle, well, the foot that I broke. So like I twist it so often. It's like, because it never really healed properly. So I twist it so much and I'm like, there it goes again. you just get used to it after a while. Like I just kind of twisted a little bit, but not too bad this time. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna get the lights going and we're gonna get the food going. I'm gonna do a keto, so hold on to your shorts. Let me get the lights. I love someone said yesterday, seasonings in your bathroom drawer, that's a good idea. Said by no one ever. I was like, that's pretty funny. That's true. I would not ever choose to do this. It's not a good idea. It's a necessary idea around here. Not a great idea. I should one of these days just cook out there. The problem is, you say, why don't I cook out there like Gloria's at the gym? I never know when she's coming back from the gym.